Hey everyone, it's Morgan with Bellingham Now, and welcome back to our Nonprofit November series. This week, we're taking a look at the Cascadia International Women's Film Festival, a Bellingham-based international film festival that has been uplifting women in the film industry since 2017. Their mission is to host a festival dedicated to discovering, developing, and showcasing emergent and expert women filmmakers and promoting the Pacific Northwest as a destination for film production and film-going audiences. Here to talk a little bit more about their mission and impact is their executive director, Cheryl Crooks.
My name is Cheryl Crooks. I am Executive Director of Cascadia International Women's Film Festival. I'm here today at the Pickford Theater, which is our home theater for the festival. In case you don't know, our festival, which is based here in Bellingham, is dedicated exclusively to showcasing the films by women directors from around the world. And we're excited because this year is our 10th anniversary, and to date we will have shown the films of 300 women directors from 48 different countries around the world. Back in 2015, there was a small group of people here in Bellingham, many of whom were former film industry professionals, who got together to talk about the idea of starting a film festival here in Bellingham. It seemed like an ideal location because, for one thing, we have plenty of accommodations. We're between two major film centers, Seattle and Vancouver, and we also have lots of transportation access through our airport, through the interstate, through the buses, and it just seemed like a very ideal location. One of the women who was involved in this, and whose idea it actually was a woman who had been president of another women's film festival in Toronto. And in fact, that festival is still going today. It's into its 25th year, I think it is. Very successful. So we all came together and thought, could we make this work? What we did was we looked into other film festivals that were in the area, talked to a lot of people. In particular, we talked a lot to Port Townsend Film Festival, which is great, Seattle International Film Festival, Gig Harbor Film Festival. They were also helpful in telling us what we should do, as was the Pickford. At the time, there was a programmer here who was very well informed about film festivals, and he really helped us launch the festival. So we have a good relationship with the Pickford and have continued to have that relationship ever since the festival began. We were pretty conscientious about choosing our name. If you notice, our name is Cascadia International Women's Film Festival. We did some market testing, and we wanted a name that would relate to place, just like Telluride does, or Sundance, or Tribeca, for example, because we wanted it to relate to our place. We live in such a beautiful place that we wanted to reflect our location as much as possible in the film festival. So we use Cascadia, and we think it suits it well. We started our first festival was in 2017, and we brought in directors from all over to do our first festival here at the Pickford. And it was so successful that we thought, yes, we should proceed and we could make this a real reality. And since then, it's grown and it's developed into a highly respected, highly selective film festival for women directors. We select short films based on submissions, and we're open right now for submissions. We have an entire what we call jurors who look at our submissions. Every one of our films receives 3 views from jurors, and our jurors are located literally all over the world. We have jurors in Los Angeles and New York, we have jurors in Hong Kong, we have jurors in Washington, D.C., in Seattle. They are primarily film industry professionals, so they are looking at our movies for a variety of criteria. The ones that are chosen to be semifinalists advance to a final selection committee, who are all based here and also all film professionals. And they look at the mix of the films, and we program the short films from that. Our feature films, however, are curated by our program director. Her name is Claudia Puig. She lives in Los Angeles. She also programs for the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. So we're very fortunate to have Claudia working with us. She's a very renowned programmer. She was also president of the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. She has a talk show on NPR called Film Talk. So we're delighted Claudia comes and helps us with the festival, assists us in helping us find our honored guest. Every year we present an honored guest at the festival. Had a number of women come up. A couple of years ago was Catherine Hardwicke, who you may recognize her name. Well, you certainly recognize her movie. It was a big blockbuster film called Twilight, and it was the biggest box office hit, especially by a woman, until Barbie came along. Catherine was here with us for all 4 days, and she was a fabulous honored guest. She presented a program to our audience, and she showed a couple of movies. She was just hanging out with everybody, getting an opportunity for people to talk, and that's one of the great things about our festival. As I tell students, because we work a lot with students at Western Washington University and Whatcom Community College, we have interns who work with us, is one of the things that our festival does is it creates access for young aspiring filmmakers and students and volunteers who wouldn't have access to these directors otherwise if you were living in a place like, say, New York or Los Angeles. And they can communicate with them, they can talk with them about their movie, they can talk with them about the film industry, they can talk with them about what it takes to be a director, how they achieved that, and they learn a lot, and they sometimes develop relationships that go on. We've had interns that have worked for us that are now working in Los Angeles in the film industry. So we feel very proud of that. I just had an intern that presented his first short film at a film festival in Florida this week. So this is the kind of thing that it can lead to. One of the other things we do during the festival, we don't just show movies. We have panel discussions, educational panel discussions, which are free and open to the public. Anyone can come, and they've gotten to be quite popular with our audience. Because of the topics that are discussed, people learn a lot about what it takes to make a movie. They learn things about the music selection, they learn things about what social impact filmmaking is, and they can talk with the directors during that panel discussion to find out more about this. We also host something called the Script Studio, and we select short film scripts that are submitted to us. 4 short film scripts are selected, and we work with directors from Western Washington University's theater department. We put together an ensemble of actors. At the Script Studio, the actors read the script for the audience as it's projected overhead, so the audience can follow along. And then we have a panel of film professionals that discuss with the writer what works and what doesn't work in the script. So you learn a tremendous amount about screenwriting. We're hoping this year that we might be able to do something called a location scouting tour for our directors, because often they'll see the downtown or this arts district area, which is where we have the festival, but they know nothing about Linden or Ferndale, or we have a wonderful waterfront out in Blaine. So we want them to know this, because why? Because every director that comes here says, I want to come back and make a movie here. We want them to do that, because when they do that, it infuses a tremendous amount of money into the local economy. Because it's not only the filmmakers, it's the accommodations, it's the catering, it's all the support services that independent filmmaking can bring to a community. So to introduce them to some locations, we're kind of hoping to put together this location scouting tour to take them out and show them this is what exists here, and these are the possibilities that we can work with you. One reason that it's so important that we are exclusive to women directors is because there is a serious inequity in the film industry towards women directors. San Diego State University in California, they do a study called the celluloid ceiling. And last year's study for 2024, the stats were of all 250 top grossing films that were made, only 16% of them were directed by women. Even more, the top 100 grossing films for that same year, only 11% were directed by women, and that was down from the previous year of 14%. So there's still a really serious inequity for the stories that women make to be told and get exposure. We know that when women direct a film, that there are more women that are hired on set to work for that film. We also recognize that the stories women tell need to be seen by our audiences. We need to create an awareness and a recognition by our audience that this inequity exists, and we want them to see how excellent our women directors' films are. We have women that come to Bellingham for the festival, which this year will be April 30th to May 3rd here at the Pickford, and actually we also have events that happen at the Mount Baker Theater, at the New Prospect Theater, and other locations around Bellingham. We bring women directors from Brazil, from Mexico, from Italy, from France. We had someone come from Macedonia, even Russia one year, Canada, New York and Los Angeles, of course, Atlanta, Washington, D.C. They all come together here for 4 days. And together they spend this time networking, getting to know one another, talking with our audience, presenting their films, and answering questions from the audience. And what this does is, and what we are doing as a result, is we're building a sense of community. Not only with our women directors who actually leave here and end up working with one another on many other projects. They stay in touch with one another, they help each other and support each other. That's exactly what we're trying to create with our directors. Within the community itself, our audiences, and we have home hosts, they get to know our directors, they become friends. We've got directors who were here the first year who are still in contact with our home host and some of our audience members that saw their movies. And it's important because that allows our Bellingham community to recognize and understand what it takes to get a film like theirs done. It's not an easy road, and these women have a lot of challenges that they face in financing and just getting the whole project together. So our audience and our home hosts and our volunteers gain a deeper understanding of what it takes to make these kinds of films, and they are excellent films. I should let you know that it takes a lot of people to pull this off. We have about 100 people working behind the scenes to make this festival a reality. In addition to myself and all the jurors that I've mentioned before, we also have all the directors, but we have volunteers without whom this simply would not be possible. And you're welcome to volunteer. We'd love to have you volunteer because, as a matter of fact, when you do volunteer, you get an inside look and a behind-the-scenes look at the festival, and you get to meet these directors on a one-on-one basis. You get to talk to them, and you get to know them. The other opportunity for our community members is to become a home host. As a home host, you host one of our directors in your home and provide a breakfast for them during the period of their stay here, so that you get to know them, they get to know you. It immediately connects our directors to the community and the community to our directors. So we continue that, and that's one of the best things that we do. The other thing that you can do, simply come to the movies. Be the audience member. We need you to see these stories that these women tell, because when you watch the movies, they are documentaries, they are narrative features, they are short films, they are animation, and they are wonderful. You will see the kind of quality that these women produce. You will hear Q&As afterwards with our directors where you can ask them questions about the particular movie in itself. Last year we had a wonderful woman come, was our honored guest, a woman named Yvonne Rousseau. And Yvonne, who is a major producer, director of all sorts of films, and was an actress too. She was named a producer of the year by I think it was the American Indian Film Festival. She is a Native American, and she showed a wonderful documentary we presented at the Mount Baker Theater called Viva Verdi. And it was about a retirement home that exists in Italy for retired musicians. And it's something that she was promoting here in this country, that we need something like that to support our wonderful artists in our country. It was a wonderful movie and it was sold out. That's the other thing. As an audience member, you need to know, and I'm not kidding about this, we sell out our movies. So when we make our announcements, and it'll usually happen mid to late March, if there's something you see that you think you'd like to go see, you need to buy your ticket right then or buy your pass, because we do sell out of our films. And we have only so many seats in the theater. Once they're gone, they're gone. We do an online version of the festival afterwards that will happen this year, May 7th to the 17th. We started it in the pandemic. When that happened, the entire country closed down about 3 weeks before we were to have our opening night. It was a challenge for us, but we had some great people working with us, and we were one of the first festivals to go online. And we have since then refined that, as have a lot of festivals, and we've made it more easily accessible to you, so that if you miss a film here at the festival or you want to see it again, you can buy a ticket for the online festival. But I will caution you, not everything is online, because as the pandemic has subsided, the feature films in particular don't allow us to put everything online. So that's just a little bit of word of warning to you, don't just rely on, I'll see it on the online festival. We do our best, but it's not always possible. One reason we continue to do it is because it provides accessibility to people who are unable to come to the theater. We're working with a couple of senior living residences here in Bellingham to try to set something up there, especially for them, to provide for their residents some of our films for next year. It's been a very successful thing. It creates greater exposure for our directors and their films, and it creates greater exposure for the film festival as well, because it's usually not just limited to the immediate Washington State area. It's across the country. So we have people in New York and people in the Midwest watching our movies and getting to know about Cascadia. That also helps to promote the idea of coming to the festival, because we are now bringing people up from other locations in the United States to especially come to our festival. And that is also one of the goals of the festival. We are a destination festival. This year, because of the 10th anniversary, we are going to kick off our celebration in December, on December 12th. In fact, it's a Friday, at Aslan Depot, with the launch of a poetry anthology. We invited last year poets and writers from across the country to submit their written work to us, or actually to an editor in LaConner, I think she's based at Ravenna Press. It's a small, prestigious press, to write pieces in response to some of our films, to our panel discussions, to the festival itself. From these submissions were selected a number of pieces, poems and prose, that are going to appear in an anthology, along with a little bit about the films that they are referencing. It will be for sale to all of you. Village Books is working with us to do this, and we'll have that launch on that evening at a big party. We're gonna have a big party, so you'll have to come, at Aslan Depot. We're really excited about that. We also do special screenings throughout the year, not just during the festival, because frankly, we're now finding so many wonderful films by women directors that we can't get them all into the festival. So throughout the year, we also do other screenings. We're working right now to find one for Native American Heritage Month, which we usually do in November. We have one coming up in January with Kuntz and Company, the local dance company, that we'll be doing in January. We'll do one for Black History Month. And we're working with Western Washington University's Department of Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies and the library to present a film on International Women's Day on campus. That will happen on Thursday, March 5th. We don't have a location for it yet, but we do have a film that everyone is very excited about. And we're hoping to bring that director here to talk with people after that as a celebration for International Women's Day. And then, of course, the festival will open in April. So as you can see, we have a lot of things going on all year round, not just during the festival. You can support our festival not only by being an audience member and buying a ticket, but you can support us by donating, becoming a member of what we call our Cascadia Circle. That's at the $100 level, and that goes to helping us pay for our movies. Because one thing that a lot of people don't realize, I think, is a lot of film festivals, they do not pay for the privilege of showing a film at their festival. We pay every single director. It's important to us because we are, after all, trying to create equity for our directors. Your support helps us to pay those directors. It helps us to pay for all of our marketing, our theaters, our support staff, of which there are many, and to help bring our directors here for the festival. The other thing you can do, if you have a business or a company, or if you work for a company that has a matching grant, we would like to connect with you because we have sponsorships available at many different levels where you can be a proud sponsor and show that you support the stories women tell through our festival. So if you'd like to become one of those, you can go to our website, which is cascadiafilmfest.org. Go to the Support Us page and you can see how you can do that. It's important that you come to see these movies. It's important that we show these movies, that we put you in touch with our directors so you can better understand anyway, the way that these things come about. You know, I should leave you with this thought. Film is a very powerful medium because it's on, for one thing, it's on the big screen. Hopefully you see most of these films on a big screen as opposed to watching them on your phone because they're made for the big screen. Every director is making their film for the big screen. But movies of themselves, they have the power to entertain, to enlighten, to educate, and to inspire. That's part of our mission. And there's no more important time right now to see these stories that women tell. As women are being challenged across the country, in this country, and actually the world, over all sorts of issues. These movies will help you to understand, to inspire, and in many instances, to ultimately bring about change. They also provide an important role model for young girls and young women who also would like to make a movie or tell their story on film. And when they see another woman who has done this and made it possible, then they think, I could do this too. So that's another reason that we exist, and it's an important reason. We want you to come this year, celebrate the 10 years with us, because we're excited about it. I think you'll be excited when you come. The films will be wonderful, they'll be powerful, they'll tell important stories, and I want you to experience it for yourself because I guarantee you, once you come, you're going to be back the next year. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The women filmmakers around the world will thank you too, because they thank me almost every day.